Hi everybody, welcome to Misty Lane Embroidery. In this video, we're going to talk about all the different embroidery machines that are out there. So hopefully this will help you narrow down what's best for you and the types of crafts and types of things you either want to make for yourself or make for your family or make to sell. So stay tuned. Here we go. First up are the type of embroidery machines that are more like sewing machines. So you can have a sewing machine that also embroiders, or you can have a machine that looks just like a sewing machine, but only embroiders. Let me show you some clips of that. Typically when people start researching stuff, where do we go? We go to Amazon. So this is like a brother sewing machine right there. And you can see that one right now is listed at $1,600. It takes a USB port. It's got an embroidery area there. Okay. This is a Janome. This one is an embroidery and sewing machine. And you can see the price tag on that is $15.99. Janome and Brother have several versions. This is just a portable sewing machine, but it says it has embroidery. I doubt that for that price. So if you go on down, you can see the Janome also has what we call a multi-needle. So it has, multi-needle means multi-threads. So this would be a one-head multi-needle. That's what they call that, a one-head multi-needle. You can see Janome has several brands out there, and Janome is a well-known brand. And we have Singer. Of course, everybody's going to recognize the Singer brand. And there's a 4-needle embroidery machine. Now this says 4-needle, but it's got several colors up there. So 4-needle means basically it can stitch 4 colors, right? And that's $52.99. So just an idea, just so you can see a single head embroidery machine. That's a Brother. I hear a lot of people talk good things about the Brother, that this Brother persona is a good one to start with at home. And it is a single needle, meaning one color at a time. You'd have to switch out colors as your patterns change. So that just gives you an idea of some of the stuff we see on Amazon. Now we're going to go in and we're going to Google embroidery machine commercial, and you see Ricoma comes up. You see a bunch of different places come up. Okay. Here we have the best 10 commercial embroidery machines. Let's see what they say. So they talk about things you want to look at, right? So Avance 1501C is on there. Ricoma is on there. Tajima, Brother, Melco, right? All those are on there. And this is, well, that's way beyond what we're going to talk about today. So this is a good place. This is a good thing to Google. And I'll be talking about some of these because I looked into them more thoroughly. The Avance from Coldesi is one that I looked at as well. So we'll talk about those a little bit. But Googling is always a good place to start. The other place, as you know, is YouTube. So once you pick what you want to look at, so for example, you could go down and you could take each one of these, put them in YouTube and see if somebody's made videos on them. In full disclosure, as of the date of this posting of this video, I have no financial interest in any of the ones we're going to talk about, or any machines, or any equipment, or any thread, or anything, okay? I just want to maybe give you a jump start on some of your research because I've spent a lot of time researching these. Just a little bit of background, I have been in business since 2004. I am actually a forensic nurse, and I have enjoyed sewing and embroidering on the side my whole life. And I decided, you know what, getting older, I'm going to retire. My job is so stressful. I need something fun. The first thing you need to do is think to yourself, what is it that I want to make? What is it that I want to create that will bring you joy, right? The last thing you want to do is start another business that is like your day job now and really brings you down. Okay? So for me personally, I knew that I wanted a machine that could do hats. My husband is a huge fantasy football player. His friends are. Hats are a really big deal. And I know how much we spend on hats. So immediately, all of the sewing machine type units were out because you can do a hat on there, but I don't know how you would do multiple hats, and I don't know how that would not drive you crazy. So the smaller machines that are like sewing machines, you're going to have to babysit more. You're going to have to be in front of that machine, but they're really good for like onesies, bibs, small things like that. But it's mostly for flat items that the material is not very thick. So I knew I wanted to do blankets and towels and those kinds of things too. So I knew that the sewing machine type units were not right for me. And quite honestly, people are like, oh, get a small one to make sure you like it first. For $1,600? I'm not going to buy something for $1,600 to just dip my toe in, right? I'm not buying a sewing machine, embroidery machine that I know will be too tedious for me. I don't want to have to babysit it like that. Okay, so those for me were immediately out. However, if you have never touched a sewing machine and you don't know the first thing about bobbins and tension and thread and stitching, that might be something you want to look at, or at least go get a basic sewing machine. You can actually get like a starter Singer sewing machine for $89 at Walmart. I think that was the last time I bought one for like my sister who wanted one to just kick around with her quilts, right? With her quilt squares. That's a good place to learn sewing and stitch and bobbin and tension and all that kind of stuff, right? And for $99, you know, at least it gets you introduced to sewing and stitching and things like that. However, I think $1,500 or $1,600 is way too much for that. If you want to do more than just flat apparel and smaller sizes, just my opinion. It might be perfect for some of you, but just my opinion. Next up, I started looking at the multi-needles. And so I knew I wanted a multi-needle, and multi-needle just means there's that many needles and you can put in up to that many color choices at one time, okay? So I actually started looking at designs and what kind of designs I would want to do. And on the designs, it'll show you like how many colors it uses, how many different colors of threads. And I noticed a pattern. I noticed that not many of the patterns that I really liked took more than 10 different colors. The other thing too was I looked at the Avance. Okay, so I looked at the Avance, and the Avance is now coming out with a 12 needle machine. The problem with Avance's 12 needle machine, at least as of now, it's on pre-order or back order, and you wouldn't get it in for like 8 to 10 weeks. Well, I don't want to wait. But I don't want the Avance's bigger unit, didn't want to spend that much money. So Avance, I liked Avance. I was going to go with them, but didn't with the new 1201C, but did not want to wait. So Avance, didn't want to wait. The next one I looked at was the Ricoma. Ricoma does a lot of marketing. They have a YouTube channel, good Instagram channel, lots of teaching, lots of education. The Ricoma has a 10 needle and a 15 needle. They both have really big embroidery areas. And then I had to look at that and say, do I really want to do jackets? No, I don't want to do jackets. So I looked at the difference between the 10 needle and the 15 needle to decide, do I really need the 15 needle? But once again, the designs I had looked at didn't need 15 different colors. And I don't want to do coats and stuff like that. So for that reason, I ruled out the Ricoma 15 needle. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Tajima. Now, Tajima I have seen before. Tajima is actually used by a huge embroidery company that I'm familiar with in my local town called 5Bs. 5B started out as a family-owned company. They did embroidery in their basement, and now they're like a 20,000 square foot warehouse, huge production. They're amazing. They don't do custom embroidery per se, but they do things for like the NFL, the NCAA, or is it NCAA? Anyway, collegiate. They have lots and lots and lots of stuff, good stuff. And I've been familiar with the family for years and actually have been out there and have taken a couple tours of the plant, and they use the Tajima, and theirs are all like they're just rows and rows and rows of these embroidery machines. It's like so inspirational. It's pretty awesome. They also have like their own little store. So if you're ever this way in Zanesville, Ohio, and you just really want to see something like that, it's a good little date. It'd be a cute place to stop. And they have a gift shop. They have all kinds of embroidery, silk screen, and in the back, they actually have blanks. They sell some of their leftover blanks. These shirts were $1.99. $1.99 for these nice 100% cotton blanks. So the Tajima is where I was introduced to the Tajima at 5B's Embroidery. And I called them, and good company and everything, but I just felt like they're more commercial. You know, like if I want 7 single head units lined up, like if I really want to go big style, Tajima really kicks it out. Like it's some pretty bougie stuff. With a bougie price tag. So for that reason, Tajima was out. It was just out of my budget, let's be honest. Okay, another brand that I'm sure you've heard of is the Melco brand. And Melco has the EMT 16, and they also have their Bravo. Both of them are 16 needle machines. I really liked what I found out from Melco. I like their machines. I think great quality work. They do hats. They do thick fabrics. They have bigger hooping areas. Really, really, really liked Melco. Was this far from getting the Melco Bravo. Need to put my glasses on for a second here. So the Melco EMT was going for $15,794. And they also had 0% financing, etc., etc. And the Melco Bravo was going for $11,800. They also had 0 financing for that. So I really, really liked what I found out about Melco, but I started digging a little deeper, and I thought, So a couple things I didn't like about Melco. Their machines come with a 6-year warranty and support for 6 years. But after that 6 years, support could be $50 a month. $50 a month. Whereas Ricoma, free support, at least as of now, free support. So I really didn't like that Melco, after 6 years, was kind of going to switch that out and charge that. Like, I didn't like that at all. The other thing, but the main thing, I shouldn't say the other thing. I should say the main thing why finally I just went on the Melco was that you need a separate computer to run the Melco. I just didn't want to tie up my work computers and mesh my embroidery business with my forensic nursing business. And I also just didn't want to go out and buy another really nice laptop to work with this already almost $12,000 machine. So I'm very computer savvy. So it's not like I didn't think I could do it that way. I just really liked on the Ricoma and some of the other units, the touch screen that was built right in to the unit. So for those reasons, the support for only 6 years, and the additional need for a computer, Melco got X'd out. Okay. Other thing that was huge for me with Ricoma. Now, the other places may have had this. By now I knew what machine I wanted. So it was, how do I get the best deal, right? How do I get the best deal? So I'm fortunate enough that like I said, I've been in business since 2004. Last year at the end of the year, my accountant called me and said, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean, what am I doing? And she said, you don't have enough tax write-offs. Now, in my current business, I need my brain and a laptop. That's it, right? I'm a forensic nurse. I don't need all this other stuff. I need a printer, a computer, and my brain. That's it. So I reached out to Ricoma and I said, do you have a way for my current business to lease the equipment? I don't want to buy at 0% interest as me as an individual, right? Because I'm not a tax advisor, but I am married to a lawyer who's very smart with taxes, and I spoke with him about all this. So speak to your own accountant and see what's applicable to you. Laws and rules change, but as of now, if I bought it as an individual, right, or leased it 0% interest as an individual, then I would have to switch it over, tell my accountant, yeah, it is for the business, and I could write off depreciation. I could not write off the whole, I would have to split up how I wrote it off. Let's put it that way. However, listen. If you set up your business first and get your business to lease the Ricoma, then you have a lease payment once a month that goes toward the purchase of the Ricoma at 0% interest. But now you have a better tax advantage because your business has a monthly tax write-off until it's paid off, right? So there's a difference between that. It's much smarter to set up your business, get a tax ID as a business, get your bank account as a business, and when you call Ricoma, say, hey, I want my business to lease it, right? And literally, I was on the phone with him in front of my computer in 10 minutes, got approved, got it ordered, done. And my accountant's happy, my husband's happy, and I'm very happy. Because anytime you can take advantage of the tax laws that are out there, do it. Why would you not? Right? So now I have this tax credit thing every month. And because it's every month, he said, do you want 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? And I said, give me 5 years. I'll take 5 years of that tax write-off. And the beauty is, if I want to pay it off early, I can pay it off early, no penalty. So, cannot beat that. Okay, so one thing I want to point out about this lease thing, a lot of times when we think of leases, we think of car leases, right? This is not like a car lease. So car lease, it's like you can lease a car for 3 years. You either turn it in or they tell you how much you have to give them to buy out the car, okay? The lease option for the business is not like that. It's more like I don't want to say buy here, pay here, because those things charge way too much interest, but it's more like a lease to own. Okay, so it's a lease to own. So once my payments are done, I'm done. But I've been able to make those payments every month. I've been able to get a tax write-off every month. And I've been able to pay down the principal on the machine. And at the end of the lease, it's mine. No lump sum payment, nothing like that. Okay? So when you think lease the equipment, don't think of it in terms like we're used to with a car lease, because it's a lot different. My machine actually comes next week, and I will do an unboxing video. I also have done a lot of research on blanks and thread and getting stuff wholesale. And so in the next video, I will link those below. Like I said, I have no financial interest in any of the things I am talking about. So I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, follow along, leave me a comment, say hello, and we'll see you next time.